Here in Kansas City, temperature 49 degrees. It's actually warmer than it was last couple of days. We had a cold front come through here, and temperatures expected to hit into the 50s as we get into the heart of this one. The Ravens and the Chiefs. John Harbaugh told us last night, really likes this group, mature guys, veterans teaching the young guys how to take care of themselves, and a very close-knit group. The young guys have fit in perfectly. Romeo Crennel, his team 1-3. The Chiefs, this has been one of the top home field advantages through the years, but not recently. They've won just 3 of their last 12 home games. They've dropped 6 of their last 7 here at Arrowhead. Kansas City has won the toss. Baltimore will kick it off with a rookie, Justin Tucker. Sean Drone is the deep man for Kansas City. Ravens coming off 4 games in 18 days, and we're underway here in KC. Drone, the return man, slowed down as he gets to the 20-yard line, and that's where Kansas City is going to open up with Laquan Williams making the play on special teams. Matt Castle trying to get control of this offense, Dan, and it's been an adjustment. 5 offensive coordinators in 4 years.
And he knows he cannot continue to turn the ball over if he wants to remain the Chiefs quarterback. 7 interceptions, 3 fumbles in the first 4 games of the season. Well aware of the pressure that he faces today against this strong Baltimore defense.
6 turnovers last week against the Chargers, 5 in the first half for the Chiefs. Double tight end set to open up on a handoff. Charles lost his footing a bit. Baltimore able to bottle him up after the gain of 5. Haloti Ngata gets him down low. Offensive line, Ryan Lilja has been forced into duty at center because of the injury to Rodney Hudson. He had never started a game at center, had never played a game at center until last week. Backs and receivers, Mo Iaki with Kevin Boss now on IR, the tight end, because of recurring concussion. So Mo Iaki coming back from his own leg injury. A little more pressure on him to produce. McCluster, third receiver on a 2nd and 5. Chiefs going no huddle, first possession. Charles got a hole, shoots through it, but short of a first down. A 3-yard gain. Bernard Pollard coming up with the tackle. Defensively for Baltimore, Haloti Ngata playing at an elite level for this Baltimore D. And again, Kansas City going quickly here on a 3rd and 1, maybe giving Baltimore a little taste of its own medicine. Charles is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Paul Kruger. Baltimore comes up with the play defensively. It's a loss of 2, and Kansas City goes 3 and out.
Yeah, Kruger did a great job of getting off on the ball. Watch, here he is. He's just going to close down here, and as Charles looks to cut back to pick up the first down, only needs a couple of yards. Watch the speed of Kruger. And even if Kruger doesn't get it, it appeared that Ngata was going to be there to stop Charles.
Dustin Colquitt punting to Jacoby Jones, standing at his own 18-yard line. High punt. Fair catch called for. Jones brings it in cleanly at the 20, and that's where Baltimore will open up. 52-yard punt and a penalty marker on the play. Pete Morelli, longtime referee, and doesn't appear to be any flag to speak of. So Baltimore will be opening up at the 20-yard line. Ravens 5 and 5 in their last 10 road games. They've alternated in those games between wins and losses. Dominant team at home, 14 straight home victories. Give to Rice. Ray Rice accelerating across the 25 and a 6-yard rip on first down. Matt Burke with a key block up front. Joe Flacco, the numbers have been impressive through the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's really thrived in this no-huddle offense, which they're in right now. He gives Jim Caldwell a lot of credit for his success, but he feels that the Ravens can operate even faster.
Flacco on 2nd and 4. Underneath, able to hit his man Torrey Smith for a first down. Look at the starting lineups. Impressive Kelechi Osemele on that right side. The coaches have been raving about the rookie out of Iowa State. Backs and receivers, Anquan Bolden coming off his best game of the season. 9 catches, 131 yards in the 23-16 win over Cleveland. That was last Thursday night. They held on for that win, but some quality time off. Nothing there for Rice up the middle. No gain on the play. Javon Belcher in on the stop. Injuries for Kansas City on the D-line. No Glenn Dorsey. No Rapati Patoitua. Alan Bailey gets the start at defensive end. Linebackers. Justin Houston has been a playmaker in his second year out of Georgia. And in the secondary, Kendrick Lewis hasn't played a down yet this year because of shoulder trouble. Abram Elam getting the start at safety once again. Travis Daniels in defensively as a nickel for Kansas City. 2nd and 10. Flacco to the flat. Dennis Pitta did not have a catch last week. Pitta gets involved early, but a modest gain of 2.5 yards. It sets up 3rd down for Baltimore.
Yeah, a little quick out to Pitta, his first catch of the day, but after he makes the grab and gets shoved out of bounds, he's going to take a shot from, is it Romeo Crennel? No. Romeo got out of the way. Looked like Alan Bailey got a free shot on the tight end from Baltimore.
Third and 8 for the Ravens. Flacco operating out of the gun. Flacco steps, guns it. Incomplete, trying to hit Pitta. Would have been right at that 1st down marker. Pitta could not haul it in, and Baltimore will punt. Baltimore has not gotten off to very good starts this season. That's the one area. You look at the first quarter, and the Ravens were hoping to change that trend here today. Not the case on the opening drive.
And 3rd downs have not been that good for Baltimore so far, just 34%. And they're 0 for 1 to start today.
They've been outscored 20-17 in first quarters this season. Sam Cook will punt it. Javier Arenas waiting for it at the 10. Cook averaging just under 47 yards per kick. Arenas moves forward from the 15. Nowhere to go. Runs into a wall with Shockey Brown and Corey Graham blanketing him. 47-yard punt. No score in the first. Kansas City Chiefs have not scored a touchdown on their opening drive in the last 22 games. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. They went 3 and out on the first drive here today. They've been outscored 41-6 in first quarters this season. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for Kansas City. It was all Charles on the first possession, and it's Charles again getting to the perimeter. Leaning forward across the 20, McPhee and McClain bring him down. The rest of the starting Baltimore defense have to pick it up because both teams are going no huddle. Linebackers, Jameel McClain has become a consistent player in that core for Baltimore. And Bernard Pollard, former 2nd-round pick of the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2006. Pollard, a big part of what they do in that secondary for Baltimore, along with Webb, Ed Reed, and Kerry Williams, whose job appeared to be in jeopardy, and Williams comes up with the interception return for a touchdown last week. We'll see Jimmy Smith back there as well. 2nd and 6. Castle puts it in the air for the first time and connects with his #1 weapon in the passing game, Dwayne Bowe, 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, 26 catches now for Bowe, and he's just off to a great start. Obviously, his ability to get separation and then his body control really sets him apart.
7 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown last week in the 37-20 loss to San Diego. They trailed 27-6 at halftime. So a new set of downs for Kansas City to work with. Double tight end set, Moiaki and Steve Maneri making a change at the line of scrimmage. Castle to a running play. Jamal Charles busting it into Baltimore territory. Asamoah and Maneri, key blocks up front to string Charles for 25.
And left guard Jeff Allen getting out in front as well, the rookie here. Watch the hole that's created by the 2 tight ends and Allen as he comes off on Ray Lewis there. Good read by Jamal Charles. Maneri up the field, and that's exactly the type of play these Chiefs need.
Just across midfield, first down for Kansas City. Keep it on the ground. Sean Drone, first year out of North Carolina, part of the practice squad last season. Courtney Upshaw makes the play defensively for Baltimore, no gain.
And it's interesting to see the Chiefs giving the Ravens some of their own medicine with this hurry-up, no-huddle offense. Not that much of a hurry-up, but Castle calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. The personal on the field.
The offensive coordinator, Brian Dable, in his first year with Kansas City. Drone trying to shed a tackler. Brought down after the gain of 3. Jameel McClain making that stop for Baltimore. We talked to Castle about this offense. He said that Dable has merged some of the West Coast philosophies with what they actually did back in New England when Castle was a backup to Tom Brady.
Well, Castle knows about offensive coordinators. He's had 5 in the last 4 years. That's a lot of adjustments, and even his wife has helped him with flashcards and studying tape with him.
He said she's ready to be an offensive coordinator, I think, after all the work.
It can be difficult on him, he said.
3rd and 8. Just with the flashcards or in general?
Well, the diaper changing and all that, too.
Play clock down to 1. They get the play off, but Drone has nowhere to go on a 3rd and 8. The fans react on the conservative play. Paul Kruger makes the stop. NFL Today update. JB back in New York.
Ian and Dan, check this score. Well, here's something you don't see very often. That's a first quarter touchdown by the Browns. That's, in fact, what we see there at their first of the year. That comes after a Ahmad Bradshaw fumble. Browns have lost 10 straight. Back to Ian and Dan.
So we'll be hearing from JB and Boomer throughout the day here. Lardarius Webb, the return man. Fair catch, brought in just short of the 9-yard line. And Baltimore pinned deep in its own territory after the 40-yard punt. Scoreless opening quarter in Kansas City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the new Droid Razr M by Motorola. Say hello to the full screen phone.
One of the best eating spots in the country. You come to Kansas City, the tailgating, you get inside, there's more food. Right now we are scoreless between the Ravens and the Chiefs with 6:59 to go in this opening quarter. Flacco on a line but cannot connect with Anquan Bolden. Brandon Flowers drawing the coverage for Kansas City.
That's what the Chiefs really struggled with last week against San Diego, was covering the tight ends. We saw Eric Berry on the last series taking care of Pitta. That time Abram and Flowers combined.
Number 2 offense in the NFL, just behind New England, 424 yards per game. Rice, not a whole lot of room to work with as Eric Berry slid down low to bring him down. Give him a gain of 4 on the play for Ray Rice.
And really, that's all Ray Rice. He's very difficult to see at times behind this huge offensive line. He goes 5'8". An offensive lineman, 6'5", 6'3", 6'4", 6'6", right across the board. Sometimes it's difficult with his patience and vision on the backside to cut back. He's tough to find.
Second in the NFL in yards from scrimmage behind Kansas City Jamal Charles, running back. 3rd and 6. Flacco in some trouble. Flacco is brought down. Tamba Hali leading the charge for KC.
Well, he didn't have any sacks until last week when he picked up 1 against the Chargers. He starts off today's game chasing down Flacco. He beat the block of Michael Orr, right side of the screen, but Flacco had nobody down the field, tried to escape the pocket, then the speed of Hali brings him down.
Pro Bowler each of the last 2 years, and Baltimore forced to punt here with Sam Cook. Kansas City should have excellent field position. Arenas waiting for it at his own 40-yard line. Arenas moves forward, spin move to the 45. Arenas tossed down at midfield. James Ihedebo getting in there on special teams. A 49-yard punt, 8-yard return, and a flag thrown back at the 15-yard line.
And there's a helmet back at the 6-yard line belonging to that man, Brendan Abendejo.
Who's that?
Brendan. Brendan lost his hat.
Ian Badejo.
That's right. That's what I said.
Yes, you did. You're in the neighborhood, in the Ian Badejo neighborhood.
And illegal behavior. During the kid. Holding. Number 99 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
Edgar Jones called on the hold, the former Baltimore Raven. We'll step aside. First quarter action here in Kansas City. Chiefs and Ravens. No score. Back in Kansas City, the city of fountains, and down in the plaza, the Pink Fountain. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Join the NFL and the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer by supporting a Crucial Catch campaign. Visit NFL.com/auction to bid on authentic NFL pink gear worn by players and coaches. And here in Kansas City, breast cancer awareness started with fans getting pink ribbons upon their arrival into the stadium. Pink souvenirs are also available in the shops. And before the game, 50 breast cancer survivors were invited onto the field. Great cause. The NFL certainly doing its part here in the month of October. Kansas City has it at the 25-yard line after the penalty was called. Double tight end set. Charles hits the hole and loses the football. Scooped up, kicked around, and knocked out of bounds. Kansas City is going to retain it.
I don't know. I think Baltimore had the ball last possession, and then they fumbled it out of bounds. This may be Baltimore ball.
Ravens claim that they had full possession, tried to get some yardage after the recovery, and that's what the officials are going to talk over right now.
And the big question is, was Charles' knee down before the ball came out? And as you said, Ian, did Bernard Pollard have full possession?
After ruling on the field that it is Kansas City's football. The Baltimore defender never had possession of the ball. First down, Kansas City.
So it's ruled a fumble for Charles here.
Yeah, Bernard Pollard rips the ball out. And then it's a mad scramble for the ball.
And it's Ed Reed.
He's saying Ed Reed didn't have possession. Looked like he had possession there. I wonder if Harbaugh will challenge here. Apparently his coach is upstairs. Say, nope, don't challenge. Good call.
So a first down for Kansas City just across the 35-yard line. Charles snakes his way across the 45. Issues with fumbles last week. He had 2 of them in the loss to San Diego. That's an 8-yard gain.
And one was similar to this where the defender, it was Corey Leggett of the Chargers, just pulled the ball out of his grasp, just as Bernard Pollard did that time. But Ed Reed ruled by the officials and to not have possession before that ball went out of bounds.
What'd you think? You thought he had it?
I thought he had it for an instant, but not that instant's not long enough.
Moving pocket. Castle hits Charles down at the 50-yard line. We're heading to New York. JB and Boomer with the update. Gentlemen.
Scoring at MetLife. It's an offensive juggernaut by the Cleveland Browns. Dan Fouts would love this matchup. Josh Gordon, 62 yards, being chased by Chase Blackburn. 14-0. Let's go back to the bird and the beer.
All right, Boomer.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Tell you what, Brandon Whedon last week had some really impressive moments against this Baltimore defense. Cyrus Gray is in, and he gets the call. Gray, the rookie out of Texas A&M, is wrapped up at the 45-yard line, a 4-yard pickup for Kansas City.
The Chiefs doing a good job with their running attack, taking pressure off of Castle in the passing attack. Castle's 2 for 2 for just 12 yards, but on the ground, the Chiefs doing a good job with both Charles and now with Gray and Drone.
And Jameel McClain just limped off for Baltimore defensively. Donnell Ellerby is in there. 2nd and 6, Kansas City on the move here. No score, coming up on 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. A pitch. Gray loses the football. And this time, Baltimore's got it with Courtney Upshaw, the rookie out of Alabama. 2 national titles with the Crimson Tide. 2nd-round draft pick. Kansas City disaster. Even with some success in this first quarter, it turns to adversity.
Yeah, the rookie Cyrus Gray just dropped a perfect pitch from Castle.
NFL NFL on CBS is sponsored by Windows 8 and by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
From the Kansas City 42-yard line.
Turnovers continue to crush this Kansas City team. 9 lost fumbles, most in the NFL. 16 total turnovers, a -14 turnover differential. Flacco throws. Wide receiver screen. Torrey Smith. Long strides for Smith and a penalty marker thrown back at the 39-yard line as Smith was able to accelerate out across the 20. A 25-yard catch and run. Is it coming back? It is.
They're going to get Anquan Bolden for a block in the back on Brandon Flowers. His block is what sprung Smith down the sidelines. 81 is Anquan Bolden. He's going to come out here, block initially, and then come around from the back and block Flowers. That's a good block there, but that one right there, the push in the back, it looked like Flowers might be able to make the tackle. That will draw the flag.
So that has been one issue for Baltimore, the penalties. 1st and 20 for the Ravens back near midfield now. Number 5 scoring offense in the NFL, just under 31 points per game. And a give for Rice. Ray Rice breaks the tackle. Rice with a juke move inside the 15. Michael Orr on that left side. A 37-yard gain. Stanford route couldn't bring him down as part of that initial wave.
Well, the thing about Rice is he's got patience, and then he's got explosion, and then he's got tremendous strength, upper body strength. He just sheds tacklers. Right here, he steps through one and then just pulls away from Stanford route there.
On a first down for Rice, and he's tripped up just short of the 10-yard line. It's Johnson getting him down low after the gain of 2.
But the thing we're seeing with Rice lately is a pretty good stiff arm. It's more like a jab. Watch this jab here as he pushes Elam back a couple of yards.
Rice just has tremendous balance, 5'8", 212 pounds. Second down. Play fake. Flacco. Almost a snare by Bolden. It's incomplete. Brandon Flowers back there defensively.
Great effort by Anquan Bolden. Pressure on Flacco from Houston coming may have caused this ball to be a little bit high and make it for a very difficult attempt by Bolden. But Flowers was right on its back as well.
Dime package here for Kansas City. This is a 3rd and 8 for Baltimore. Touchdown percentage just under 67%. That's second in the NFL. Ravens trying to get on the board first. Flacco making a 69th straight start for Baltimore. Flacco, end zone, incomplete. Tandon Doss, second-year wideout from Indiana, the intended receiver.
Yeah, the Ravens now 0 for 3, converting third downs. Had a great run out of Ray Rice. Good field position, but can't take advantage of it from the 10-yard line.
Justin Tucker, part of a very impressive rookie kicking group in the NFL. 28-yard field goal for Tucker, 8 of 9 this year. First year out of Texas. Ravens put points on the board off of the turnover by Kansas City. It's a 3-0 lead for Baltimore. A minute 21 to go. First quarter here in Kansas City. Baltimore Ravens 2-0 under John Harbaugh in games the week after playing on Thursday night. The drive, 6 plays, 42 yards after the turnover. Tucker the 28-yard field goal. Ravens are also 7-1 against the AFC West since Harbaugh took over as the head man, now in his 5th year. Drone's going to take it out of the end zone. Big hole. Drone hit at the 35. Tucker involved in it. Nice run back by Drone. Tuesday on CBS, there's a new sheriff in town and new trouble in Vegas. Don't miss TV's #1 news show. It's Vegas, Tuesday, only CBS.
First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs' 35-yard line.
Well, sometimes the kicker's got to be the last guy, and Tucker does a good job. Drone tried to give him a couple moves. He didn't go for any of them.
Do you advise kickers to go for the legs?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
On first down for Kansas City from the 35. Charles slicing through across the 40-yard line. Jeff Allen, rookie out of Illinois, with a good block on that left side. It's an 8-yard pickup for Charles.
Tackled by Ray Lewis, gain of 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, talking to Charles, Dan, about the knee injury, and he said, look, I'm working the cold tub. I ice my knee as often as I can. It swells up a lot. Really, the issue is cutting on it. And even talking to him, you could tell the confidence isn't quite at 100%.
Well, he knows that he may be over the mental part, but I think he was kidding us right there because of what you just said, Brian.
He looks sharp.
Well, I don't think he has any problem running straight ahead, does he?
No, that's not an issue. 6-yard gain. JB, Boomer Esiason, busy guys in New York. NFL Today update.
Michael Vick hurting his own calls. And right here, this is going to be the 4th turnover that the Eagles have had on offense in the red zone. Most in the NFL this season. 0-0 Steelers-Eagles. Ian and Dan.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We mentioned Jameel McClain limped off earlier. He's back in there for Baltimore. Charles emerging and hits that second level. He's got a first down at the 40-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain for the electrifying Jamal Charles. And that's how this first quarter will end. With Baltimore in front, 3-0 on Kansas City. We'll have second quarter action coming up from KC. Back in Kansas City, Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, with Baltimore in front 3-0. Matt Castle's job so far, hand the ball off to Jamal Charles. 82 yards in that first quarter. Castle has thrown just 2 passes. On first down, it's Charles again, stumbles as he got hit down low and brought down just short of the 35. Ray Lewis involved there for Baltimore as the officials come in to separate the two teams.
Maybe a little frustration on Ray Lewis's part and the Ravens. The Chiefs have rushed the ball 16 times now and they're having success whether they run it right or left, but mostly it's up the middle.
Charles again. Thought about getting to the edge, couldn't get there. Haloti Ngata helped make sure of it. And no gain on the play for Jamal Charles.
Yeah, I think that their left guard, Jeff Allen, number 71, blocking on Lewis here on the last play. Here comes Allen with the right elbow, just following through, and Ray Lewis says, hey, I'm a 17-year vet. I'm on my way to Canton, Ohio. You can't do that to me.
Apparently Jeff Allen didn't get the memo. 3rd and 5 movement.
Brandon Albert didn't get the snap count.
76 offense. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
And that's Albert, the Glen Burnie, Maryland native. Grew up just 20 minutes outside of Baltimore. And that could push him out of field goal range as well. See if they can get back that yardage.
You go from 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 10. Not exactly making it easy for your quarterback, who has been struggling. Play calling, though, has taken care of him so far today, as you talked about, Ian, 2 for 2.
The defensive rankings for Baltimore, these are not numbers they're accustomed to. 23rd in total defense so far through 4 weeks. Castle out to the perimeter, and Dwayne Bowe with a penalty marker thrown at the 18-yard line. So that flag in the secondary. Defensive backs coming over the officials, trying to get a word in.
Holding, number 22 defense. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
A lot of contact on this play between Jimmy Smith and Dwayne Bowe down the field. Smith is going to grab him right here, but watch Bowe push him away. Get separation, make the reception. But the call goes against Jimmy Smith.
First down for Kansas City inside the 30. Charles runs into a crowd, and just about everybody involved defensively, a yard and a half on the game. Get live score updates for all of your favorite teams with the new CBS Sportcaster app. Available on select devices. Visit cbssports.com/mobile or text SCORE to 42777 to get the free app. Cyrus Gray is in there. He is the running back that fumbled it on the previous possession. 6th round pick this year out of Texas A&M. 8th play of the drive. Castle. Intercepted off a tip ball. Lardarius Webb goes down at the 28-yard line. Dwayne Bowe in a battle with Kerry Williams.
Yeah, on the outside, 82 is Bowe. There's Williams, 29. That ball right off the hands, but the left hand of Williams got in there, popped it in the air for Webb, could pick it off.
17 turnovers now for KC. Interception for Lardarius Webb. Kansas City keeps shooting itself in the foot. On first down, Flacco throws a quick hitter to Anquan Bolden.
Flacco's pass is
Brought down to the 45. Brandon Flowers with the tackle. It's a 16-yard pass play.
Oh, we go back to the interception. You're going to see 3 hands in here when the ball gets there. The left hand of Williams will get between Bowe's hands, and that knocks it up in the air for Webb to pick it off.
Baltimore trying to take advantage once again of the turnover. Ray Rice, nothing there. Pick up 1.5 yards, 2 yards on effort alone. Bailey and Toribio combined to bring him down.
He was tackled by Kamba Ali, gain of 2 yards on the play.
Now this Baltimore offense, thanks to the balance of Flacco and Rice, the passing game has come around. Cam Cameron has pushed it a little bit more with Flacco, and the running game is still a staple for Baltimore with Ray Rice. 2nd and 8. Pressure. He's dumped. Justin Houston continues to make plays for this Kansas City defense. Houston, his 5th sack of the season.
Houston on the side.
Houston will work both sides of the line of scrimmage. Here he is right here as the left defensive end. Going to get right by Osemele and right quickly to the legs with a good legal hit on Flacco for loss of 6.
Seven in the secondary right now for Kansas City. On a 3rd and 15. They'll rush 3. Flacco out of the pocket looking downfield. Flacco fires up in the air. Broken up. Elam back there with Bolden, the intended target. If it was intercepted, it would have acted basically like a punt for Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a good decision by Flacco. He really had nothing. Flagged down on the play. Could be holding against Kansas City. If so, it's going to be a first down.
Holding. Number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty automatic. First down.
And that's the veteran Stanford Routt, formerly with the Oakland Raiders. When Brandon Carr signed with Dallas, they had to address that spot. It was Routt who got the nod, and he just got called on a costly holding penalty.
And that gives Baltimore their first 3rd down conversion, thanks to the holding on Routt.
Cam Cameron, former head coach with the Miami Dolphins, and he has worked in Bernard Pierce. Rookie running back from Temple in there now. Flacco, sideline route. Torrey Smith tried to adjust against Routt, but unable to bring it in. Incomplete.
Flacco's pass was intended for Torrey Smith. He was covered by Stanford Routt.
Here's Routt at the top of the screen as we go back one play, working against Jacoby Jones. Legal hit there after 5 yards, but then he just grabbed the shoulder pad, and you can see the flag flown all the way across the field from where Flacco threw the ball.
Flacco just 4 of 9, 30 yards in this first half. Baltimore with a 3-0 lead on Kansas City. Anthony Allen is in. Allen gets the call. Second-year running back from Georgia Tech, met by Tyson Jackson. No gain on the play.
Allen, the ball carrier.
Romeo Crennel's got to be happy with Justin Houston. Said he was a rush end at the University of Georgia. Had to teach him how to be an all-around linebacker. I think he's figured it out in year 2.
Purnell also calls the plays on defense for Kansas City.
Pretty good combination with Houston on one side and Holly on the other. Both have a sack in this ball game in the first half.
CBS is sponsored by Autotrader.com. Now compare new and used cars and find the best deal on Autotrader.com. Scottrade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying I'm with Scottrade. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Fast-paced first half with Kansas City and Baltimore. 3-0 lead for the Ravens. 3rd and 10 and a flag thrown.
5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Osemele. Now this has been a reshaped offensive line, not the line you thought Baltimore would have when they were in training camp. They decided to go young with Osemele and Harewood, shift around Michael Orr from the right side to the left side, McKinney in a backup role, Bobby Williams, who was signed from Cincinnati, in a backup role. And John Harbaugh says, I've been happy with their development. He's not concerned. He thinks they're only going to get better. A lot of upside with the young players. 3rd and 15. Flacco's got a cannon, but well short of a first down. He hits Anquan Bolden. 14-yard gain.
I don't know, do you give the crowd credit for the offsides there, which really made it a difficult 3rd and 15 instead of 3rd and 10 for Flacco? They pick up about 10 yards on the play. Actually going to give him more than that, but still short of the first down.
Sam Cook on to punt it. You look at the averages around the NFL with punters these days.
I think there's a little helium in the ball the way they're booming it.
If you're not at 45, you're in the bottom half.
And then there's a lot of this too in the NFL. These really pooch punts that seem to bite inside the 10-yard line.
That ball was tipped by Baltimore, so it's a live ball for Kansas City. Copper on the return. So the Chiefs get some extra yardage.
What a heads-up play by Terrence Copper. The gunner going down. Corey Graham with the left hand. Watch the ball hit Graham in the left hand here. And then Copper heads up at the 10-yard line, picks it up, and brings it out 25 yards.
3-0 lead for Baltimore. Ravens fans might be a little bit surprised. They're locked in a tight one here. Give to Jamal Charles. Slowed down at the line of scrimmage, but still able to pick up yards. 7.5, depending on the spot. Tomorrow, the Broke Girls get robbed, but money isn't the only thing they lose. A brand new Two Broke Girls. That's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central. Only CBS. No huddle offense here for Kansas City. Ready to go. And a hole. Charles shoots through it across midfield into Baltimore territory. That's an 11-yard gain for Charles, and he has cracked the 100-yard mark. 1:08 in the first half, Dan.
Yeah, but he comes up feeling this tackle right here as he hits the ground hard after Kerry Williams takes his legs out, came right to the sideline.
Offensive line has done a terrific job for Kansas City creating space. Sean Drone now in for Jamal Charles, and Arthur Jones brings him down. Gain of 6 yards on the play.
Well, this game plan for Brian Daboll. 20 runs now, 21 runs, just 4 passes. See Charles a little sore after that, but I expect him back.
Torn ACL, left knee last year early in the season. That certainly changed the Kansas City Chiefs' year after losing their weapon in the running game. Castle, tuck and run for the quarterback and ducks out of bounds. Good angle from Castle to pick up 12 yards. They're moving the chains, and we're going to New York. JB and Boomer.
Victor Cruz gets the dance, Boomer. Right after falling behind 14-0 to the Browns, Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, play action. 17-7. Browns tack on a field goal in the meantime. Ah, boy, I wish I could move like that. I know I can. Back to Ian and Dan.
Guy Jamal Charles back in there, and he takes it up the middle behind Albert and Allen. 9.5 yard gain there for Jamal Charles, and he'll get a breather.
And right now, the Chiefs' offensive line getting up and getting set. The Ravens just milling around. The Chiefs caught him off guard with that last play.
2nd and short. Castle making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Drone is in there. Drone has enough for the first down. Needed a yard, picked up 3. Ed Reed forced him towards the sideline with a little shove. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs have not led in regulation yet this season. Their lone victory came in week 3 against New Orleans. They won that game in overtime. New set of downs for Kansas City to work with. They are yet to throw it on this drive. And they'll keep it that way. Drone leans forward for a gain of 5. Ray Lewis in on that stop for Baltimore.
Well, so far, the first half, the Chiefs have run for 144 yards, and the Ravens coming into the game have only allowed 94 yards rushing per game.
25 rushes, 4 passes so far for Kansas City. They trail 3-0. Drone. Strong cut by Drone as he turns it upfield. Fans reacting here.
And
Arrowhead.
It's not as if they're favoring one side or one type of running play. We're seeing this type of play to the outside left. We're seeing the cutback over the middle. We're seeing the off tackle to the right. So everything that the Chiefs want to do with their rushing game has been effective against a very good defensive front of the Ravens.
3rd and 1. Double tight end set. Castle himself.
At Castle, the ball carrier.
And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for Kansas City.
And right now, this no huddle has kept the Ravens defense on the field. They haven't been able to substitute fresh defensive linemen.
Charles in the backfield, and the first mistake in the no huddle.
5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Yeah, Steve Maneri jumped early as Castle was changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Another mistake. Here he is right here. Watch Castle come up out of his stance here to change the play, and Maneri takes off too soon.
Almost a sigh of relief from the Baltimore defensive players that they get their collective breath for a moment preparing for this Kansas City offense. They have no points, but they have moved the football up and down the field on the ground. Back it up. 1st and goal for Kansas City. Charles. Big loss on the play. Back to the 20. Pernell McPhee and Paul Kruger.
It was great penetration by McPhee and Kruger. And now the Chiefs, who are about to, here is Kruger here. Here's McPhee. Watch how they fire off the ball, get in the backfield, get that penetration, and knock Charles back for a huge loss of 8 yards.
2nd and goal, back at the 20-yard line. Charles in the backfield. They're not going away from the game plan, and Charles is going to lose more yards. Kruger blows that play up for the Ravens.
So you lose 5 yards on the offsides penalty, then 8 yards, and now another 2 yards. So instead of being on the knocking on the proverbial door, you can't even see the door.
3rd down and goal from the 22-yard line.
3rd and goal.
Well, this Kansas City team outgained San Diego last week, 353 to 293 in terms of yardage, but it didn't show up on the scoreboard, and it's a similar issue here today against Baltimore. 12th play of the drive, all running plays. Castle will use a timeout as the play clock had hit 5. 3-0. Baltimore holds on to the lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Applebee's. Try Applebee's new Southwest flavors 2 for $20 menu all season long. See you tomorrow.
3rd down and goal.
Play selection breakdown so far. Baltimore, 7 rushes, 12 passes. Kansas City, 29 plays on the ground, just 4 passes. Time of possession is nearly double in favor of Kansas City in this first half. 3rd and goal. Chiefs still looking for points. Drone to the outside and gets thrown down by Bernard Pollard after the collision. Picks up 10 yards and sets up a shorter field goal attempt for Ryan Suckup.
Well, Suckup has only missed once in 9 tries this year. It's important for the Chiefs to get some points out of this. They were not going to be able to throw for a touchdown pass against that too deep coverage, especially with Ed Reed, one of those too deep defensive backs.
Suckup has made 7 in a row. This will be from 30 yards away to tie this game up. Colquitt will hold it. Thomas Gafford, the snapper. "30-yarder for Suckup. And he knocks it through. We are even at 3 apiece. Late stages, second quarter in Kansas City. 3-3 Baltimore and Kansas City. 2:48 to play first half. And coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
You got to think Romeo Crennel's got to be happy with this score, obviously, but also the fact that his game plan of keeping the ball on the ground, taking pressure off of Castle, and playing strong defense against Flacco and the Ravens, working pretty good so far.
Ryan Suckup will kick it off to Deontay Thompson. And this one is going to sail out of the back of the end zone. Baltimore will have it at the 20-yard line with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to work with. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS has the #1 team in the country, Alabama, the Crimson Tide, rolling into Missouri. It all begins with college football today, 3 Eastern, here on CBS.
Nick Saban would like this style of offense with both teams running the hurry-up.
Not so much.
Guess not. I kind of like it.
Are you taking this personally, that Saban is attacking the Oregon Ducks?
I think he's attacking the way football is being played today and will be played from now on.
All right, as long as it's not personal.
No, it never is. Go Ducks.
1st and 10 for Baltimore from the 20-yard line. Let's see if they can get a sustained drive going here with Flacco. Nice hands. Dennis Pitta brings it in. That's an 8-yard pickup through the air for Baltimore.
Yeah, you know Pitta likes to hurry up, no-huddle offense. That's what he ran, a standout receiver for BYU.
And that chemistry has really developed between Flacco and Pitta. On second down, Flacco one-on-one. Trying to hit Jacoby Jones. Brandon Flowers, the coverage for Kansas City. It's 3rd and 2.
Flowers has been playing with a sore heel, but he is a top cover guy for the Chiefs. Only 5'9", going up against the 6'2" Jacoby Jones, but his position was perfect.
So now 3rd and 2 with 2:20 to go in this first half. 6 defensive backs for Kansas City. On an inside handoff, Ray Rice. He's got enough for the first down. Had to get to the 30. Picks up 3 yards in the process.
Baltimore's going to try and hurry, get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. Sure they're going to get it done, though.
7 carries, 52 yards for Rice. They don't. Now that internal quarterback clock still working for Dan Fouts.
I love the hurry up, man.
2 minutes to play in this first half. Baltimore has all 3 timeouts to work with here in a 3-3 ball game. On first down, Flacco, timing play, trying to drop it in the bucket to Bolden, and he can't hold on. Javier Arenas there defensively for Kansas City.
Now Bolden's bucket's got a hole in it because that ball went right through his hands. He gets behind the defensive back here. Arenas had to slow down slightly for this ball, but that goes right through his hands.
2nd and 10 for Baltimore. Second drop of the day for the veteran Bolden. Flacco, high throw. It's handled by Pitta. And the clock keeps rolling. 1:46 to go. And a 12-yard pickup through the air. First down, Baltimore.
Well, does Pitta get all the way out of bounds here, though?
1st and 10 Ravens from the Baltimore 43-yard line.
Rolled on top of Eric Berry. Fisher said no.
Shotgun formation for Baltimore. The rush is coming. Flacco unloads. Knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Trying to hit Bolden. Again, it's Arenas in that matchup with Anquan Bolden, the 3-time Pro Bowler.
Flacco with good time to throw, puts the ball just to the little bit too far to the inside. That allowed Arenas to get that left hand on the ball and knock it away from Bolden. Out and in front, Bolden makes that catch.
Flacco came in third in the NFL in passing yards behind Breeze and Eli Manning. He's got 64 in the first half. Flacco dials up a deep ball out of bounds. Jacoby Jones and Brandon Flowers.
Flowers did a great job of forcing Jones out of bounds. Even if Jones were to catch this ball, it would not be a completed pass. Watch the angle here that Flowers takes. Leans back onto Jones, forces him out of bounds. Another incompletion for the Ravens.
And it brings up 3rd and 10 for the Ravens. Flacco guns it. Drop ball, Ray Rice. Baltimore will punt. Sloppy offense here for the Ravens.
Yeah, they're just not getting anything on the ground. They're not being able to catch the ball when Flacco has time to throw. That ball is perfectly placed in front of Rice's hands. Whether he would have been able to pick up the first down is another matter.
So Sam Cook back on with Javier Arenas back for Kansas City. Arenas moves forward. Spun down short of the 20-yard line by Ion Badejo. 44-yard punt, 5-yard return. Reminder, coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB and the rest of the gang back in New York. The latest scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
You know, this type of field position and only one timeout remaining for Kansas City. I would expect Romeo Crennel to play it very conservatively here. Going to halftime with a 3-3 tie.
Romeo was very honest with us in our sit-down when we said, look, nobody expects us to win, and that may include Baltimore as well, but this team is not going to fold. Were his exact words, right up the middle, Sean Drone. And maybe the fans don't like the conservative approach, but
why isn't Baltimore? Finally, Baltimore uses a timeout.
After the 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. John Harbaugh. It's a lot of time off after that Thursday night win against the Cleveland Browns, and maybe just trying to get a little bit of the rust off. Last week, the NFL replacement refs made news. This week, don't miss New York Giants legend Lawrence Taylor and comedian Bill Burr. JB, Chris, Phil, it's Inside the NFL Wednesdays, only on Showtime. Ryan Suckup, career long of 54 yards, came against Minnesota in 2011. Kansas City has a lot of room to go if they want to get into Suckup's range. 55 seconds remaining in this second quarter.
When the last time Matt Castle has only thrown four passes in the first half.
Charles, 106 yards on 18 carries. Charles, whatever hole there was, it closed up very quickly. 2-yard gain. Arthur Jones combining with Albert McClellan. Pernell McPhee left early, went to the locker room when Baltimore still had the football on offense. No word on what the issue is with McPhee. So Arthur Jones seeing more time on that defensive line.
How about Jamal Charles? First time a running back's gone over 100 yards rushing against this Raven team in the first half in a long, long time. Remember James Allen of the Bears, of course?
I do. They're working on the left eye of Jamal Charles. Charles talked about the Baltimore defense. They've got Hall of Famers. They're experienced. He didn't see any weaknesses on film, trying to compare them to the defenses that he's seen in the past. 3rd and 5, 4 receiver set. 32 running plays compared to 4 passes for Kansas City in this first half. On the ground, Drone, nice spin. First down for Kansas City out across the 30-yard line. Ed Reed over there defensively trying to make the play on Drone, and he was able to use those legs and the spin move to get the necessary yardage.
And that timeout by Kansas City and that spin move was critical for the Chiefs to keep the ball out of the hands of the Ravens.
Well, we talked about Ed Reed and just the impact he has after all these years. The Fouts focus.
Yeah, it's like where's Waldo, or rather finding Ed Reed. He's all over the place at the line of scrimmage. He blitzes, he makes tackles from sideline to sideline. He thrives when he plays deep and recognizes pass routes. His vision and anticipation often results in interceptions, something he's done 59 times. And of course, he's taken 7 back all the way to the end zone.
He told us he really loves playing here in Kansas City. He said the fans are always into it. He appreciates the history of the franchise. And also, when his brother Brian passed away a couple of years ago, this is where the team played afterwards. And he said there's always going to be a special place in his heart. Baltimore won that playoff game against Kansas City. Charles. Out of bounds, just short of midfield. Jamal Charles.
Yeah, now they got a shot now. One play. They got time to get to the line of scrimmage, spike the ball, and perhaps get Suckup in range. Another big gain for Jamal Charles.
First and 10 Chiefs from the Kansas City 48-yard line.
125 yards in the first half against this Baltimore defense.
6 yards a carry.
Right now, Kansas City needs 17, 18 yards in that range to get Suckup an opportunity. A throw. Catch is made by Bo.
And now they got to hustle and kill the clock. Castle will spike it. Still plenty of time.
Got 18 seconds left. And the spike by Castle with 16 seconds left.
Field goal from here would be about 63, 64 yards, which would be a tall order for anyone. So maybe another pass to the sidelines. 3rd down now. It's about all the Chiefs can hope for, but I would give Dwayne Bowe every shot with his ability to make catches under tight coverage. But it's got to be near the sideline.
At one stretch in 2011, Suckup connected on 22 consecutive field goal attempts. He is 9 of 10 this year. Trying to get some more yardage for Suckup. Play clock down to 00. And that's a killer.
Unbelievable.
That's following a spike.
3rd down.
Yeah, the fans have every right to boo that. That's on the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. Play coming in perhaps too late. Castle unaware of where the play clock is. This is his home stadium. He ought to know where it is. He ought to be able to look at it every time he gets to the line of scrimmage. That's the first thing you got to do.
"16 seconds remaining now in this first half. Castle with a floater. Out of bounds. Sean Drone. 12 seconds remaining now.
Well, now they are in range, I believe, at least for a good attempt. It would be a 60-yarder for that man right there. Decision time for Romeo Cornell.
It's 4th down. They didn't get the first down on that drone catch.
Well, they're going to bring the chains out, so they get a break here, stop the clock, bring the chains from the other side of the field to see if indeed he was short of the first down.
Kansas City and Baltimore tied at 3. We have 12 seconds to play in this first half, in a half that has seen the Chiefs dominate on the ground. 180 yards rushing for Kansas City. 218 overall. Baltimore with 106 yards total. And he's that short of a first down. So what's the decision? You go for it on 4th down, get the first down, and hope somehow that you can get your guy on the field to kick a field goal, or at this point, you got to try the field goal attempt from 60 yards away.
Well, you can go for the quarterback sneak, hope to get it, line up quickly, spike the ball, and then maybe you're at 59 yards instead of 60. But this would be 60 from here for Suckup. There is no wind. And the punter's coming out. So all that field goal talk goes with the wind. And the fans don't like this. But again, it's a conservative call. Cornell concerned that if you kick a long field goal, sometimes you got to kick it low. Ravens have a chance of blocking it. Maybe they could pick it up and take it the other way. That's got to be the thinking on the Chiefs sideline.
But why punt it? It's 4th and short. You could just have the quarterback keep it. If he doesn't get it, time's probably going to run out in this first half.
Well, they're going to stop the game, and it's going to be challenged to check the spot. They're checking from the replay booth. This is a replay review at the end of the first half. It certainly appeared that Drone had enough for the first down, but now the Chiefs talking over their options on the sidelines. And Pete Morelli will tell us.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
But I like your point, Ian. Why even bring the punter out? Why not just sneak it, see if you can get the first down? Well, you need a couple of inches.
Right? Or you could try
a lot of things.
A quick little out play, and if you get a 5 or 7 yard out, you get a first down. I mean, look, obviously, these are the coach's decisions, and they've got to live with them. And Romeo is most comfortable with Colquitt coming out, punting it, and pinning Baltimore deep so they don't even get a Hail Mary attempt. And now the clock will just run out anyway. 3-all. Kansas City and Baltimore with 1/2 of play complete. We'll come back. The Verizon halftime report after this message. A word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. Scott Baio has been thrilled. Charles has very much been in charge. 125 rushing yards in the first half, but a couple of giveaways for Kansas City. Baltimore able to score points off of one of those mistakes. And we are getting ready for second half action. 3-all, Baltimore and Kansas City all tied up. Time right now for the Droid Razor M play presented by Motorola. Matt Castle's job, get it to Jamal Charles in the first half.
And a really good idea. This 25-yard run by Charles that just kind of showed you what the Chiefs' game plan was coming into today's game. Charles on the ground, limit Castle's exposure in the pocket, and really take advantage of a very flat Baltimore offense. And defensively, Baltimore just has no answers for what the Chiefs are doing on the ground.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. Joe Flacco has not gotten a whole lot of help in the passing game. Number of drops, but the game plan, Brian Dable, Romeo Crennel, and the Chiefs are executing it. Charles has been brilliant.
It may be conservative, the fans may not like it, but the fans have got to realize it's 3-3 at halftime.
Kansas City just trying to find a way to win a game at this stage, and the numbers certainly favor Kansas City with 216 total yards, 179 of which came on the ground, but the 2 turnovers. Time of possession nearly 2-1 in favor of the Chiefs.
And the time of possession is what's wearing out the defense for the Ravens. That, along with the no-huddle offense that the Chiefs are running, kind of giving Baltimore some of their own medicine. Baltimore had so much success in the first quarter of the season, going 3-1 with the no-huddle offense. Today they're really struggling.
Charles came in second in the NFL in rushing yards behind Seattle's Marshawn Lynch. And a huge first half for Charles, 125 on the ground. Kickoff, suck up, Deontay Thompson. Football is loose at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, as he was going down, it looked like one of the Chiefs was ripping at the ball and may have gotten it. All the Chiefs on the sidelines think the Chiefs have it.
Terrence Copper is right in the middle of it for Kansas City on the strip.
Yeah, I think it's a good play by Copper. Second big play by Copper on special teams in this game. That's a scrum at the bottom, and the Chiefs have got it.
Kansas City, huge play to open up this second half.
Here's Copper right here. Watch as he reaches back with his right hand to grab the shoulder and then down to get the ball. But was the knee of Thompson down? This may be worth a challenge by Harbaugh. Tough to tell from that angle when the ball exactly came out, but it definitely came out. No, that ball's out before the knee hits the ground.
Edgar Jones the former Baltimore Raven, with the recovery for Kansas City.
We will review the previous play.
Now it's a turnover, so it will be reviewed.
I think John Harbaugh was making sure that the officials recognized that, so he didn't have to throw out the red flag. They'll take a look.
Great play by
After
Terrence
reviewing
Copper.
the play, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Kansas City.
Yeah, Thompson's knee was not all the way to the ground before Copper was able to strip the ball. You see Jones coming in with the recovery. Super play by Terrence Copper on that tackle.
6 seconds into this second half, Kansas City has the football with a 1st and 10 at the 29 of Baltimore. Two tight ends in this formation, Moiaki and Maneri. Charles. Jamal Charles stumbles as Cary Williams gets a piece. 3-yard gain for Charles. First play from scrimmage in the third quarter.
He's pushed out of bounds by
So important for the Chiefs to get into the end zone, get a touchdown, reward Copper and the special teams for getting that turnover.
2 weeks ago, Jamal Charles went for 233 rushing yards in the victory over New Orleans. Kansas City is yet to lead in a game this year in regulation. Their lone victory coming in overtime. On a pass to the outside, Bo has got it, working against Lardarius Webb.
A long time since the Chiefs have had a lead in a ball game.
Have to go back. January 1st against Denver. McCluster, a 21-yard touchdown in the first quarter, gave Kansas City a 7-0 lead. They won the game 7-3. They haven't led in regulation since.
Jamal Charles, the ball carrier.
Charles with the run, Jameel McLean with the hit. And on first glance, it looked like it's enough for a first down. It is.
Go back to that last pass play. It was complete to Bo, but Bo had to go down to his knees to make the catch. If he had been able to stay on his feet with a better pass from Castle, he might have been able to make some more yardage.
Pernell McPhee is in there for Baltimore. He left early at the end of the second quarter. New set of downs for Kansas City with a tight formation. Drone in the backfield. Drone, nothing there. Ravens set the edge. Jameel McLean among those defensively, making the play, a loss of 2.
Yeah, let's check out McLean from his inside Mike position. Watch as he reads this play, knows it's coming off tackle. He shoots the gap and gets to Charles.
2nd and 11 now for Kansas City. Drone with 35 yards on the ground. Castle, a rare throw. Floater, it gets there to Bo. Not a whole lot on it, but it covers 7 yards with Cary Williams there on defense.
But again, Bo's got to make a circus catch on a little hitch route where he's wide open. Ball comes in low, and it gives him absolutely no chance to use any of his talents to make extra yards.
Matt Castle on the day, 7 of 9, 50 yards, 1 interception. Coming into week 5, over 1,000 yards passing through 4 games, the most ever by a Chiefs quarterback in the first 4 games of the season. Castle to Bo, incomplete, but a flag down. Cary Williams drawing the assignment, Bo pointing in his direction.
And this was a good throw by Castle. It's a back shoulder fade.
Pass interference. Number 29, defense, automatic, first down.
Cary Williams forces Bo out wide, but makes contact right there as the ball is in the air, and Bo still almost makes this grab around the back of Williams. Great effort by Bo.
12-yard penalty. It sets the ball up at the 1. 1st and goal for Kansas City. Castle.
Did he fumble? He fumbled.
Baltimore's got it. Ed Reed comes out of the pack with a football. And Reed is dumped at the 13-yard line. How does it happen?
That's That's what this Arrowhead crowd is asking themselves between boos.
Fumble recovered by Ed Reed.
It's the snap is there. Castle appeared to be trying to get between Lilja and Jeff Allen on the left side. Watch the ball come up. Castle's hands were expecting it sooner, so this ball is actually snapped late by Lilja. Castle never had the ball, and guess who comes out with it? Yep, number 20, Ed Reed. Bernard Pollard was grabbing onto Reed's jersey there. Reed might have been able to go all the way to the end zone there. Castle appeared to be over anxious on this quarterback sneak. Remember, Lilja has never played center before, but was forced to because of injury. Yeah, there's no contact on Reed by a Kansas City Chief. Would have been better off for the Ravens if there had been. The ball would have been brought out to the 20-yard line.
The ball was clearly out. As you noted, Dan, Castle just never had it. The Kansas City Chiefs, a yard away from leading for the first time this season in regulation, getting a touchdown off the turnover, opening up this second half. And look at the scoreboard. It's still 3-all. Baltimore's got the football. That's just disastrous for Kansas City.
It's really unbelievable. But that's the reason why they're 1-3.
Baltimore 12-yard line.
Matt Castle, 13 turnovers himself.
That goes down as a fumble for the quarterback as well.
Their third turnover of the day. Ray Rice bangs his way on an inside run, trying to cut it outside for 2. Tamba Ali making that stop for Kansas City.
Yeah, this was reviewed upstairs because it's a turnover, and they're reviewing whether Ed Reed was touched by John Asamoah, number 73 right there. Looked like they bumped shoulders, but at that point, Reed did not have control of the ball. As he got up off the ground is when he did get the ball, and that's when Asamoah touched him.
Second down, Flacco over the middle, connects with Anquan Bolden. He breaks a tackle. Bolden into Kansas City territory. Anquan Bolden made Flowers miss, and he turns it upfield for 43 yards on the hookup.
Longest reception for Anquan Bolden this entire season. Watch him break this tackle. Remember, he's 220 pounds, so he goes by Flowers easily.
Working quickly now, Ray Rice hits the sideline, and Rice is forced out of bounds. He got the angle just short of the 15-yard line. Stanford route with a little shove. And Baltimore is in business after the 26-yard burst by Ray Rice.
Well, that fumble just deflated this Kansas City team. You can see they're totally out of position when Flacco snaps the ball, so the hurry-up offense operating faster really was a benefit to the Ravens that time. And now they jump off sides, though.
Penalty marker thrown. This play never gets going.
72 offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Kansas City Chiefs, a dispirited group right now.
Yeah, they're totally outplaying the Ravens. They get the turnover on the opening kickoff. Great field position. The pass interference puts the ball on the 1-yard line, and they fumble it away on the quarterback sneak. Unbelievable.
Fourth penalty against Baltimore here this afternoon. 1st and 15 now for the Ravens. Play fake. The quick strike to Anquan Bolden. 9 yards on the pass play, and Bolden very slow getting up and favoring the left leg. He's going to limp off to the Baltimore sideline. So Jacoby Jones steps in for Bolden, the 10-year veteran.
That's a well-thrown ball by Flacco, nice and low on the slant route. But Bolden tangled up with the defensive back, came up limping.
He's also their emergency quarterback, Bolden, who played it at Florida State. 2nd and 6. Up the gut, Rice got hit from behind, which gave him extra yardage. Give him a gain of 2 just inside the 10. Tamba Ali will get credit for the stop.
As we go back to the injury to Bolden, hard to tell, but he felt it appeared to be his right leg.
Bolden trying to walk it off along that Baltimore sideline. This crowd will get re-energized, cheering on the defense. A 3rd and 4 for the Ravens. Tied at 3 under 9 minutes to go in the 3rd. On the give, Rice. First contact comes from Derek Johnson with the lick. 2-yard gain as he got finished off by Halee.
Now Derek Johnson playing with an injury himself, has a sore groin, didn't practice all that much this week, but he is a playmaker. Watch him right here as Rice tries to get north and south quickly, and Johnson with just enough to keep Rice from picking up the first down.
All the scoring has come from the field goal kickers here today. 26-yard attempt for the rookie Justin Tucker. Cook holds it. Morgan Cox snaps it. Tucker drills it. 6-3 lead for Baltimore, and even 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Reed, the fumble recovery to set it up.
On CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Baltimore with a 6-3 lead on Kansas City. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have dropped 6 of their last 7 games here at Arrowhead. They have outplayed the Ravens here today. But it's Baltimore up on the scoreboard with Tucker kicking it off following the short field goal. And Drone waiting for it in the end zone. This one's going to take a bounce. Rolls to Drone. Stutter step move out across the 20-yard line, and that's where Kansas City will set things up. Matt Castle, just a brutal turnover at the goal line. Well, there's no doubt Matt Castle is feeling the pressure to perform at a high level and get this team some wins. 44 games that he has started in Kansas City. The Chiefs are 19 and 25. Handoff for Charles and spilled out after the 3-yard gain. Courtney Upshaw, first man there.
Well, check this body language here for Castle. First of all, he's low. That tells the defense a sneak is coming. Now watch how early he starts before the ball's even snapped. He's in motion looking for the ball from Lilja, who doesn't feel that momentum coming from behind, and the snap is never completed.
The backup quarterback for Kansas City is Brady Quinn. Fans have reacted. They booed Castle before. They booed him here today. Romeo Crennel has been asked about it throughout the week. And off Charles, thrown down by Nada. We asked Crennel about Matt Castle. He said, look, we have to see more consistency. We don't want to see him forcing things, throwing picks, taking sacks. It's okay to throw the ball away. But he also said, you know, as the head coach, I have to allow the quarterback a chance to do his job. Castle, he's a competitor. He'll go out there and compete. I'm going to give him an opportunity to keep this job, to hold on to the starting quarterback job. 3rd and 12 now for Kansas City. It's Charles. Caught from behind. Fans don't like it.
Well, it just shows you the lack of confidence that Daboll and Crennel have in their quarterback right now. They built a game plan that's primarily around Jamal Charles, and that part of it's been successful. But on a 3rd and long to run a draw play and expect Charles to get it all, that just tells me that they don't trust Castle throwing the ball.
Dustin Colquitt will punt it. Jacoby Jones standing at the 25. Big kick. Backpedaling. Jones from the 14. Worked the sideline, then went inside a bit and is bottled up at the 25 by Greenwood on special teams. A 58-yard punt, a 10-yard return, and a 3-point lead for the Ravens.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Charles Schwab. Let's talk about giving your portfolio a better chance to grow. Talk to Chuck. And by Toyota Care, caring for you and your car.
On first down, Joe Flacco throws. Ed Dixon, who's been a forgotten man in this offense, just 5 catches for 50 yards coming into the game here today, and that one covers 10 yards and a first down. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what Chinese company you've never heard of worries the American government the most? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS.
Yeah, they have that clock ticking for this offense. Hurry up offense, huh?
And that was about 8 seconds. Flacco, little floater for Rice. Trying to get him to the open field. Rice hurdles into Kansas City territory. He goes airborne for some extra yardage, 16 yards. And Matt Burke actually might have been in on the play as Rice had to try to get over his offensive lineman.
In fact, when Rice dove forward, he kind of tripped over Burke. May have kicked him in the side there. Burke feeling it. Slow to get up and now slow to get over the ball.
6-time Pro Bowler now in his 15th year in the NFL. He's been right in the forefront of the yoga work that the Ravens have been doing as a team. Picked off! Flacco has it intercepted by Flowers and knocked down from behind. Joe Flacco with a sideline throw, and it's a 24-yard return for Flowers.
Yeah, Flacco late coming out to his receiver on the sidelines, and that's where he gets in trouble. Threw it behind, and Flowers, who picked off a pass last week against the Chargers, going to pick off this one. Cal Flacco coming to this outlet receiver on the sidelines. Ball thrown to the inside. Bolden has no chance of knocking it away from Flowers. And again, the Chiefs have great field position. What can their offense do with it?
Kansas City takes over with a 1st and 10 at the 36 of Baltimore. For Joe Flacco, that is interception number 4 this season. Flowers' second pick in consecutive weeks. Handoff. Charles tried to loop it outside, and there's nothing there. Baltimore's now ready for these running plays from Kansas City. Chiefs are going to have to adjust as Pernell McPhee played it perfectly.
Normally when you run this ball effectively, play action passing is a good idea. You fake the ball to Charles, draw the linebackers up, and maybe hit your tight end over the middle. But, for the Chiefs, Bo's got 5 catches, Charles 1, Drone 1. Those are the 7 completion that Castle has thrown, and now a costly timeout used here by the Chiefs in the 3rd quarter.
Brandon Flowers' interception has given the Kansas City offense another opportunity here. 2 timeouts remaining now for the Chiefs. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Ball bounces in the air. It's intercepted by Williams. The Chiefs give it right back as it bounced off of Bo. And it is in complete disarray right now for the KC offense.
And this was a good throw by Matt Castle. Trying to hit the post route to Bo. Ball goes right through Bo's hands. Goes off his helmet up into the air where it's an easy pick for Williams and the Ravens. Heck, they had to draw lots to see who was going to catch this one.
Cary Williams had an interception return for a touchdown that went for 63 yards last week in the win over Cleveland. He's come under some scrutiny. They know how locked down they have one side of the field with Lardarius Webb. And Williams in the right spot, but you're right, take your pick. There were 4 Ravens there. First down for Ray Rice. Rice, no cutting room there. Give him a gain of 3 on the play as Derek Johnson is in on that stop.
Hey, you want to say it's good defense, but really, this is just a horrible offense that the Chiefs have run. Doing a great job on the ground, but you can only do that so much before a defensive team like the Ravens adjusts, which they have.
Second and 8 now for Baltimore. Deep drop for Flacco. Waits for the play to develop. Hits his fullback, Vontae Leach. Flag thrown at the 44-yard line as Leach veers out of bounds. 17 yards on the pass play.
This might be holding against Kansas City. Thrown in the secondary.
Holding. Number 26, defense. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
Vontae Leach, who only has one rush on the year. That's 9 catches now for him. Here's the holding on the outside. Route working on Torrey Smith. Smith trying to get away, but Route's got a grip on him.
Well, this Baltimore team has been dominant at home. 14 straight home victories, including the playoffs. Last year, a 500 team on the road. Rice, a little shake and bake move for Rice. Out across the 45 for a 5-yard gain. Last year, they lost games on the road at Jacksonville and at Tennessee. Last 2 games now for Kansas City. 5 lost fumbles, 5 interceptions. That's 10 turnovers in the last 2 weeks. We still have another quarter to work with here in week 5. Down to 2:20 remaining in the third. 6-3 Baltimore. Flacco, plenty of time, comes it to Torrey Smith. Smith turns it upfield. So dangerous after the catch. He's a burner. Have to respect his speed. Working the sideline routes, and that's a 26-yard pass play.
And that's better than his average. He averages 20 yards a catch. Look at the throwing lane, the time to throw, the perfect throw by Flacco. This is where it gets exciting when Smith gets the ball in his hands with space around him to use all that speed.
The Ravens lead the league in passing plays of 20 yards or more. That's now 26 on the season. First down for Baltimore in Kansas City territory. On a give for Bernard Pierce. Pierce stays on his feet. Excellent work by Pierce inside the 15. It's a 12-yard gain as we head to New York. And JB.
Boom, the education of RG3. Better go to the education of Dan Fouts because he would have never done this. RG3, great athlete, gets outside, slips and takes a wicked shot from Sean Weatherspoon of the Falcons. On the sideline getting stitches, and right now in the locker room, 10-7, Washington over Atlanta.
I was going to ask Dan Fouts how long did it take him to learn the defense hits hard. Ian and Dan.
JB, the sideline is your friend, especially when you're a quarterback. RG3, you got to get out of bounds, man.
New set of downs for Baltimore. Flacco throws. Leach releasing out of the backfield, but can't haul it in. Incomplete with 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. Drop passes continue to be an issue for the Baltimore Ravens, Dan.
Yeah, Flacco 13 of 25, but his most reliable receivers have dropped passes today. That's Pitta. This one is Bolden. In fact, Bolden's going to drop 2. This one went right through his hands, and about the reliable Ray Rice over the middle couldn't catch that one. And Leach just drops one there on first down.
4 receiver set. Shotgun formation for Flacco on second down. Flacco lobs it upstairs. Incomplete. Rice was matched up with the linebacker Johnson. Rice felt he was held. He'll try to make his case. No flag on the play. It's third down.
Yeah, Rice doesn't buy the explanation either because Derek Johnson made contact with him a good 10 to 15 yards down the field as Rice was turning up looking for that lob pass. Watch the contact right there. It's a play by Derek Johnson. Gets away with one.
8th play of the drive. 41 seconds to go in the third. Baltimore leading 6-3. Rice sets up as a receiver. Flacco. Can't break free of Justin Houston. Second sack of the day for the young linebacker from Georgia, Houston.
Well, Flacco's got to get rid of this ball sooner. He just holds on to it too long. Here comes Houston. And right now the ball should be out. Flacco trying to escape the pocket. A great effort by Houston. Results in a 7-yard loss.
Now Houston has talked about how much Tamba Hali has helped him. Just learning from him how to take care of your body, how to study film. It's paying off. 39-yard attempt here for Tucker. Play clock is down to 1. Get the snap off. Tucker splits the uprights. Baltimore adds to its lead. 9-3 as the third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter is coming up. We'll come back to Kansas City after this message and a word from your local station. The NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. Iron Eagle Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, producer Bob Monsbach, director Suzanne Smith. Baltimore with a 9-3 lead over Kansas City as we open up the fourth quarter. Justin Tucker, 3 field goals. All of Baltimore's points have come off Kansas City turnovers, but Kansas City is not taking advantage of the Ravens' turnovers. Tucker kicks it off to Drone and thinks about it. Will take a knee. Kansas City will have it at the 20-yard line, trailing by 6. Nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Don't miss Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and special guest, yes, our very own Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. It's NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I guess they found me up there in the high country of Oregon.
They get satellite up there? They're going to be able to make that work?
They got 2 cans and a string.
All right, that'll sound good. Hand off to Charles up the middle, and Kimoyatu there to wrap him up, a 2-yard gain.
You know, the most popular play on a lot of teams when that team is struggling is always the backup quarterback. And you can hear the fans starting to boo Castle almost every play now, clamoring for Brady Quinn to come in. That will be Romeo Crennel's decision, though, not theirs.
2nd and 8. Charles zigzagging and not much there. He gets chopped down after the gain of 2. Ravens and Chiefs pushing with Nata getting into it with Eric Winston. And they're not done. Winston signed a 4-year, $22 million deal during the offseason when he came over from Houston. Tough, 6'7", matching up with one of the biggest men in the NFL, Haloti Ngata. Ray Rice closing in on 100 yards rushing. Jamal Charles went for 125 in the first half. He's got 12 in the second half. Castle up in the air. Baldwin's got it. First down, Kansas City at midfield. Lardarius Webb was going for the football, but it's Baldwin, the young wideout in his second year, who wins that battle.
Well, he wins it because he's 6'4", and his quarterback puts it up in the air where he can go get it. Goes and gets it over the 5'10" Webb. Spectacular catch by Baldwin.
Back to the ground game. Drone finds a lane.
John Drone, the ball carrier.
5-yard gain for Drone.
Drone has a very similar running style to Jamal Charles. North and south runner there. He was searching for that hole and finally found it. Picked up 5.
Drone actually played some safety in college at North Carolina. Charles getting a rest on the sideline on a 2nd and 5 now for Kansas City. We're under 13 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Out of the gun, Castle. Slant, too high. Baldwin, intended receiver. JB and Boomer standing by a New York NFL Today update. Gentlemen.
Shady in the end zone, Boomer.
That's right, LaShawn McCoy. Take a look at this catch and run. Larry foot over plays. You can see how quick LaShawn McCoy is. 15-yard TD, 10-7. Steelers over the Eagles.
Speaking of Eagles, Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
That's a smooth transition. Sometimes you wonder why McCoy doesn't get more touches.
He's a fabulous back. Got all the moves.
3rd and 5 now for Kansas City. Big play here for Castle and the Chiefs. Timing play. He's got McCluster open and a flag thrown. There was contact along this near sideline as McCluster was able to get separation for 25.
This one's coming back. An illegal pick on Jonathan Baldwin.
Pass interference. Number 82, the offense. 10-yard penalty remains. 3rd downs.
Yeah, it is on Dwayne Bowe. My apologies to Baldwin. Watch Bowe come in here, make contact as McCluster's going to run the wheel route here. Just this little bump right there is illegal as he picks off Webb. And there goes the flag.
6 penalties against the Kansas City Chiefs, costing them 40 yards. They trail 9-3 and have to do it all again, but now facing a 3rd and 15. Castle again operating out of the gun. Ravens crowd the line. Here they come. Castle gets rid of it. Rainbow delivery. Baldwin trying to grab it with one arm. No flag on the play. Jimmy Smith drawing the coverage, and Castle looking for a call.
Well, Castle not happy, but both Jimmy Smith and Baldwin had their hands on each other going down the sidelines. Baldwin with a great effort to try to grab it with one hand.
Lardarius Webb is the return man for Baltimore. Colquitt will punt it. So it's Webb, not Jones for the Ravens. Webb going to let it bounce. Takes a roll. Kansas City will down it at the 2-yard line, and a penalty marker thrown at the 17 on the far side of the field. $53-yard punt for Colquitt.
During the kick, holding number 83 of the receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
Ravens have it deep in their own territory, but they've got the 9-3 lead on Kansas City in the fourth. Chiefs defensively have done an excellent job here today against Joe Flacco and the rest of the Baltimore offense. There's an opportunity here with a 1st and 10 at the 1. Up the middle, Vontae Leach gets the call and creates some space with a 4-yard gain. Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. Big one. Peyton Manning and the Broncos take on Tom Brady and the Patriots. Also the Bills and the Niners. The Titans going against the Vikings here on CBS. Manning and Brady, future Hall of Famers, going head-to-head, and Brady has had the upper hand in the past.
Can't wait for that one. It's always fun to see two of the greatest.
2nd and 6. Dixon, the motion man for Baltimore. Keep it on the ground. Not much there for Pierce. Gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, this is obviously a huge 3rd down for both teams, but the Chiefs really need to make something happen with their defense. It just appears that their offense has been self-destructing throughout this afternoon. If their defense can come up with a turnover, that would help greatly their cause.
Baltimore just 1 of 8 on 3rd downs here today.
And that was on a penalty against the Chiefs.
3rd and 5 for the Ravens. 10.5 to go in the 4th. Deep drop. Flacco lofts it high in the air. Incomplete. Dontari Poe with the heat on Joe Flacco, and a quiet 3 and out for the Ravens offense.
And that play really had no chance at all. Dontari Poe, who started at nose tackle, number 92 here, works his way right into the face of Flacco. Does not rough him illegally and causes that incompletion. Great play by the rookie Poe.
Poe, a bit of a surprise pick at number 11 overall after having the impressive combine. Rookie from Memphis. Cook, the punt. Arenas should have room to work with here. Catches at the 37. Arenas hop step out across the 40-yard line. And a penalty marker thrown way back at the 10. 56-yard punt, 4-yard return.
Let's get ready to rumble.
5 penalties against Baltimore.
During the kick, holding number 93 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that's the 7th penalty against Kansas City. Matt Castle and the Chiefs trying to get something.
On CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Farmers. Find a knowledgeable local farmers agent at farmers.com. We are insurance. We are farmers. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
1st and 10, Chiefs from the Kansas City 30-yard line.
Turnovers continue to plague the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 lost fumbles, 2 interceptions, 7 penalties today, yet they're very much in this game, trailing Baltimore 9-3 with just over 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Kansas City takes over. They lost yardage on the penalty. Bootleg for Castle. Throws it away. Courtney Upshaw with a pressure on quarterback Matt Castle.
Yeah, the fans don't like the incompletion, but it's a whole lot better than an interception. Did not force the ball that time, and it's one thing that Romeo Crennel talked to us about is that it's okay to throw the ball away at times. Don't take a sack. Don't throw an interception. Don't have negative play.
You've seen enough of Matt Castle now through the years. Where are the areas where you still believe there could be improvement for him?
Well, remember, he's had to change offensive coordinators so often, so getting used to new systems is not easy. And for Castle, lack of experience has hurt him.
Second down now for Kansas City. Castle checks it down to Charles. Jamal Charles keeps on moving, finding angles. Castle got drilled in the play. Kruger and McPhee knocking Castle down. It's a 16-yard catch and run.
Yeah, he's in real trouble here as he was rocked. McPhee, who goes at about 280 pounds.
Injury timeout.
Go back to the hit. Kruger is 99, and is Nata as well. Nata at 340 may have knocked Castle out. In the circle is number 92, Haloti Nata, working against the rookie Jeff Allen. Allen does a good job initially, but watch Nata swat him to the side and then explode into the quarterback. The fans greeting Brady Quinn. Unfortunately for Matt Castle, not the way he wanted to leave the game.
Castle was helped up. He did walk to the sideline on his own. Brady Quinn is now in there at quarterback. Up the middle, Charles gallops for a 4-yard gain to the 50. Medical staff is with Matt Castle. Brady Quinn, ironically, his last NFL game, December 20th, 2009, as a member of the Cleveland Browns here in Kansas City. He then moved on to Denver, didn't play for them, and now getting an opportunity with the injury to Castle. Charles. Kruger got a hold of him and slowed him down as Charles lost his helmet, and then Jameel McClain wrapped him up for a loss of 1 on the play.
Hey, Kruger's been all over the place today for the Ravens, especially in the backfield. His ability to get across the line of scrimmage and dive at Charles totally destroyed that play.
Well, Baltimore's been looking for that player to come in and step in for Jared Johnson now in San Diego. Castle is going to head to the locker room for Kansas City. Brady Quinn facing a 3rd and 7, former Brown and Bronco. Working from the gun. Former star at Notre Dame connects. Dwayne Bowe with the grab. Kansas City is on the move. They're at the Baltimore 31. Tight coverage from Kerry Williams, and Bowe is there to haul it in.
That's a good pass by Brady Quinn, a real strike. Coverage couldn't be much better. Williams was right there, but the ball beat Williams to Bowe.
Brady Quinn made 12 NFL starts with Cleveland. He was with the Browns when Romeo Crennel was there as the head coach. Cyrus Gray keeps the legs churning. Gray just across the 25-yard line. Arthur Jones missed on him, and he took advantage with a 6-yard gain. Coming up next, Denver at New England. Buffalo will be in San Francisco, and Minnesota hosting Tennessee. Second half of the doubleheader here on CBS. From the Baltimore 25-yard line, we're down to 7:25 remaining. Ravens leading the Chiefs 9-3. Gray remains in the backfield. They give it to him. Gray knifing across the 15. He's got a first down. Asamoah on the right side, creating some room for an 11-yard pickup.
Gray, who fumbled in the first half, it led to 3 points for the Ravens. When he couldn't catch a pitch out, takes that handoff easily, and great desire to pick up those 11 yards. Chiefs have got something going now behind Brady Quinn.
Quinn running the show right now for Kansas City. Give to Gray. He is drilled by Ray Lewis.
Cyrus Gray, the ball carrier. He was tackled by Ray Lewis.
Big hit from the two-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Second down and 11 from the 15-yard line.
Wow. It is a head injury for Matt Castle. His return is questionable for Kansas City. This is the 9th play of the drive for the Chiefs. A 2nd and 11. Moriarty in motion. Quinn to Charles. Sheds a tackle and ripped down at the 15-yard line by Ray Lewis and Paul Kruger.
Yeah, the one thing about Charles, he's just so much quicker than the Raven defenders. He caught that ball about 5 yards deep in the backfield and really made a lot out of nothing there with his quickness. Huge play here for the Chiefs.
3rd and long for Kansas City. Quinn will work out of the gun. Kansas City down by 6. Quinn looks, throws in the middle. He's got goal! Stumbling for the touchdown! Penalty marker is thrown.
This may be another illegal pick against the Chiefs.
The 22 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Looks like it's Dexter McCluster blocking the man who is covering Bo. Watch McCluster come out there. Bo cuts underneath. This they got away with when the replacement officials were here, but that's illegal contact. Pass interference, and it takes away 6 points and a potential lead for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're right, though. That play was working when the replacement officials were on duty, something that they weren't necessarily looking for. It's not working today.
That's twice now the Chiefs have been called for that exact play.
8 penalties costing Kansas City 60 yards. Back it up. It's a 3rd and long now for Kansas City from the 25-yard line. Quinn. Dump off. Gray. And corralled at the 12 and a half by Donnell Ellerby.
Cyrus Gray.
Give him a gain of 13.
Tackled by Ray Lewis.
Field goal unit is coming on with Ryan Suckup.
Again, it's a penalty, though, that absolutely kills the Kansas City Chiefs. Takes away a touchdown. They lost a touchdown on a Castle fumble on a quarterback sneak. You can't afford to give up points in the NFL. Can't beat yourself, and that's what the Chiefs have done today.
31-yard field goal attempt to cut into the Baltimore lead. Suckup connects. 9-6. Baltimore leads it. We've got 4:31 to play at Arrowhead.
Sponsored by Verizon. Whatever you want to do, Droid does. And by Subway. Get a free 6-inch sub when you buy any 6-inch sub and a drink.
9-6, Baltimore in front. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Farmers Insurance. JB and the rest of the gang, the latest NFL scores and highlights. 4:31 to go, 4th quarter. Baltimore with a 3-point lead. Kansas City will kick it off. Suck up to Deontay Thompson. Thompson had the fumble to start play in the 3rd quarter. Bouncing it to the outside, and he is chopped down at the 21-yard line.
He was tackled by Terrence Copper.
Second half of the doubleheader is coming up here. The NFL on CBS. Denver at New England. We also have Buffalo at San Francisco. Minnesota hosting Tennessee. The NFL on CBS. Week 5 continues.
But now, obviously, the Chiefs have got to find a way to stop Baltimore. Chiefs only have 2 timeouts. Remember, they had to burn one in the 3rd quarter when they were on offense.
Baltimore, though, does lead the NFL this year. 8 touchdown drives of 80-plus yards. 2 of those 90-plus yards. Looking to go 80 yards here to try to put this game away. Handoff to Ray Rice. And sliding down low, Derek Johnson. No gain on the play. Ray Rice a little bit slow to get up. Hunched over on one knee.
Yeah, that was a real blast by Derek Johnson.
No gain on the play.
Johnson, a real playmaker here. That was a critical play on first down to hold Rice to no gain. And Rice coming out. That's even a bigger play now.
They're bringing in Bernard Pierce. Rice walks towards the Baltimore sideline. He went to the huddle, and he's pointing towards the left knee. 2nd and 10. It's Leach and Pierce in the backfield. Flacco looking to throw it. Rush is coming. Flacco is dumped. The ball popped loose at the end of the play. Scooped up. Derek Johnson.
They're going to say he was down, though. Pete Morelli came in right away. Say that the quarterback was down or his forward progress had been stopped. No touchdown for KC.
Tamba Hali came firing through with the pass rush on Flacco.
Watch from the right side of the screen after Flacco is grabbed by Hali, number 91, coming around a corner here. Morelli is going to come in right about here. The ball was stripped out by Alan Bailey, but you can see Morelli saying no turnover.
This Kansas City
going to be challenged by Romeo Crennel here. He'll have a conversation with Morelli to explain exactly what he's challenging.
This Kansas City crowd thought their team had a touchdown on 2 occasions. To see the Bo touchdown called back. And this Johnson scoop into the end zone never happened in the eyes of the official.
Watch Pete Morelli come in here. Alan Bailey is going to strip the ball, number 97. You see him come in right here. And this is ruled as forward progress being stopped. It's not challengeable.
Yeah, he waved the play dead. And we had a clear picture of it as Morelli was running towards the scrum. So Crennel will scoop up the red flag. That can't be challenged by the Kansas City head coach. And Baltimore now faces 3rd and 15 with just over 3 minutes to play. 9-6 lead for the Ravens. Ray Rice back in there. Flacco steps up. Flacco looking to run. Long strides. Flacco has got the first down. He's an underrated runner. Joe Flacco needed 15. He got 16 to keep this drive going and quiet the crowd.
Oh, this is a dagger in the hearts of this crowd. Great effort as Bailey drags him down from behind. But Flacco's eyes got big, his legs got long, and he got it.
Kansas City will use a timeout at the 2:43 mark of this 4th quarter.
Fans, turn your attention to AeroVision for a recap of today's highlights.
Joe Flacco,
Time Warner Cable.
the first Ravens quarterback to throw for 350-plus yards in back-to-back games, but it wasn't his arm here today that could turn out to be the difference for Baltimore. His numbers have been modest through the air, 187 yards passing. He exploded last week for 356. He's averaging 317 through the air coming into this game. Flacco with a huge run to give Baltimore a new set of downs.
Well, and that offensive line is really a work in progress, as you said, Ian. Sacked 4 times last week, sacked 4 times today, including the play previous. He said, I've had enough of that. I'll take things into my own legs.
First down with 2:43 to play. Kansas City has 1 timeout remaining. Handoff, Ray Rice. Lunges ahead across the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. And the final timeout will be called. Even if Kansas City stops Baltimore now, they're not going to get the football until about 1:10 to play in this 4th quarter. The miscues for Kansas City, the 2 fumbles, the 2 interceptions, the 8 penalties. and all 9 of Baltimore's points have come off turnovers.
Yeah, and one of the penalties took away a touchdown to Bo. A fumble took away a touchdown on a quarterback sneak. And then you allow Joe Flacco to run 16 yards on a 3rd and 15 when you're desperate to get the ball back. Bad day for the guys in red.
Kansas City quarterback Matt Castle, a head injury. Brady Quinn replaces him in relief, something that a lot of Chiefs fans have wanted to see here in the 2012 season, but I'm not sure anybody wants to see it that way.
Nope.
2nd and 4. First down here, and the game will be over. Rice battling for extra yardage. He is ruled down just short of the 40-yard line, and the clock is going to tick down to the 2-minute warning. Kansas City cannot stop the clock anymore after this 2-minute warning hits. Rice has gone over 100 yards on the ground. 16 carries for Rice, 101 today. We'll step aside. The final 2 minutes coming up. Baltimore nursing a 3-point lead against the Chiefs. Still to come, Denver at New England, Buffalo at San Francisco, and Tennessee taking on Minnesota. The second half of our NFL on CBS doubleheader. 1 more yard for Baltimore, and they seal the deal. 3rd and 1 for the Ravens. Kansas City is out of timeouts. Ray Rice stuffed initially, and that second effort for Rice. I don't think he got it.
Needed to get to the 41-yard line. Boy, he bounced a little bit there. They're going to give him that second bounce or not? It appears to be just enough for the first down. You tell me, Eagle Eye.
It's actually Iron Eagle.
Well, Eagle, comma, eye, period.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out here momentarily if this game is over. It is. First down, Baltimore. Kansas City will not get the football back. Baltimore can just take a knee. The question was his knee down earlier before the ball was spotted where it was.
It would have to be a booth review inside of 2 minutes. No challenges, obviously. So we will have a booth review.
Yeah, the officials should take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game-deciding review.
Baltimore with a 9-6 lead. If the first down stands, they'll go into the victory formation and head home with a 4-1 record.
Hard to see where Rice's knees go down when he had the ball, but this line here is the 41. That's what he needed to get to pick up the first down.
But as you noted earlier, he did have that bounce down on the ground there emerging. On that second look, it appears he got it.
I actually think they gave him a bad mark. So when he hits the ground here, he's at about the 41.5-yard line.
Yeah, his ability to squeeze through the slightest of holes.
He's so strong, and you talked about his balance earlier. But on 5 feet and 8 inches, packing 212 pounds, that's a lot of power. Check it from this angle.
Yeah, he's good. He got it. I should mention as well, Dan, the Baltimore Orioles. Now, this is for our Associate Director, Jonathan Siegel.
And a lot of people back in Baltimore.
Yeah, a few there.
A few Oriole fans.
October baseball is alive and well in Baltimore. 15 years between playoff appearances and taking on the Yankees after knocking out the 2-time defending American League champion Texas Rangers. So congrats to Buck Showalter. What a job he's done in the city of Baltimore, enjoying the baseball
After reviewing the play,
combo.
the ruling on the field stands.
It is a first down, and that's your ball game. The Baltimore Ravens improved to 4-1. Cincinnati down with 3 minutes to play.
I think the Yankees are worried about the Orioles. I would be if I were a Yankee fan.
I think so.
Hot team, the end of the year. Look what the St. Louis Cardinals did last year as a wild card.
Orioles have a little magic carpet ride going right now. Ravens will take a knee. Kansas City cannot stop the clock. The Chiefs will drop to 1-4. They had the right game plan. They executed that game plan, but key mistakes once again hurting this Kansas City squad. They have now lost 7 of their last 8 here at Arrowhead. They're 1-4 as we take a look at the AFC West standings.
And that game plan offensively for the Chiefs was to put the ball on the ground, and they did well on the ground. They ran 68 plays, 50 of them were rushes, just 18 passes between Castle and Quinn.
They outgained Baltimore here today, 338 yards for Kansas City, 298 for the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens improved to 4-1 on the season. Hard-fought win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Our final score at Arrowhead, 9-6. Baltimore over the Chiefs. Matt Castle forced to leave this game with a head injury. Brady Quinn stepping in for him. Who knows what the future of that position holds at quarterback for Kansas City. And coming up next, it will be the second half of the doubleheader. Denver, New England, Buffalo, San Francisco, Tennessee, Minnesota. For Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from Kansas City. Coming up after these messages, NFL Today update presented by Farmers Insurance. This is the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl.